promoted tolerance, and that in Islamic societies such ideals have flourished. Obama claimed that, quote, as a student of history, end quote, he understands more than most the truth about civilization's debt to Islam. That's a quote. Quote, civilization's debt to Islam, end of quote. He added, quote, and throughout history, Islam has demonstrated through words and deeds the possibilities of religious tolerance and racial equality, end of quote. Does he not know that a Jew or Christian would be beheaded in Saudi Arabia for practicing the religion today, now, in this minute? Of course, Obama offers not one example of where religious freedom is truly tolerated in the Muslim world. Yet he proudly told his audience that in every state of the Union and throughout the United States, there exist more than 1,200 mosques. But why, Mr. President, is there no Christian church or Jewish synagogue operating within the borders of Saudi Arabia? Not even one. Why, in many countries, including your host, Egypt, Christian churches have suffered vicious and continual persecution? Why is a once vibrant Cairo Jewish community a home for the likes of Maimonides today practically extinct? Why, dear President, has the ancient Christian community in the West Bank and places like Bethlehem been almost completely wiped out by the modern Muslim onslaught? On the other hand, to quote you, Mr. President, you avoided mentioning some other truths. Let's start with the Israeli Arabs, who can claim one of the highest standards of living in the Arab world. Indeed, they have more rights than Arabs in any Muslim country. Their religious freedom is completely protected, and they even vote in free elections in Israel. Tell me, what Muslim country matches Israel's record in protecting its minorities? Even Arabs in the West Bank during the time of Israeli control saw their standard of living rise dramatically. Today, Arabs are among the best educated in the world. Israeli Arabs, thanks to Israel. In your revisionist view, Israel has acted to harm these people. But it was not Israel that could not abide by the United Nations resolutions clearly setting borders for both the state of Israel and an entity that has never existed before, named Palestine. You cleverly omitted any discussion of these facts or the continual attacks against the state of Israel over 6 decades by its Muslim neighbors. Nor is it the Israelis who persecute from time to time the Coptic Christians of Egypt. No, Mr. President, I do not accept your assertion that you are seeking religious tolerance or that you are seeking to protect Jews. I do not accept it because you are inventing a false history to fit your own agenda. Mr. President, I am deeply disturbed that you would offer such a distortion of truth in the hopes of creating a lasting peace. A lasting peace cannot be created out of lies, distortions, and half-truths. You profess to be a Christian, but you seem more intent on protecting Muslims. In your speech, you talked openly of your Muslim heritage, your admiration of their way of life, and so forth. You said in your speech that you have made one of your chief aims of your presidency repairing the image of Islam. Why did you hide these views from the American public during the recent presidential campaign? Why, as president, did you fully bow to the Saudi king, who refuses to allow any religious freedom for any Christian or Jew? You have made clear by your words and assertions that you are repositioning the United States away from Israel, America's lone democratic ally in the Middle East. You have made clear through your statements and those of your minions that Israel should, under no circumstances, prevent Iran from getting nuclear weapons. And yes, you have promised to retaliate against Iran if it ever attacks Israel with nuclear weapons. But you know full well that if Iran succeeds in its admitted goal of, quote, wiping the Jewish state off the map, end of quote, and hits this tiny nation with nuclear warheads, there will be no Israel for the United States to retaliate on behalf of. Some Jews may be naive, but we are not stupid. My comment, I couldn't have said it better. I'm J.R. Church. We'll see you again Monday with our analysis of the news.